After Mexico, it was the second co-host Canada's turn to kick off their World Cup campaign as they hosted Bosnia in Group B's opener. Canada started off the game really well. They were playing some really attacking, fluid football, of course, managed under Jesse March. However, against the run of play midway through the first half, it was Bosnia who took the lead from a corner, and they made use and took advantage of their physical prowess, which they really excel in. However, Canada kept probing. They were the team in the ascendancy throughout the first half as well, and they came closest early in the second half when Lawyer was through on goal after a very well worked team move, and his effort was heroically cleared off the line by Said Kolasinac. He was somehow able to deflect the ball onto the crossbar and then away from goal. And whilst Canada was getting closer and closer, Bosnia's defense, as we know, is super resolute, super resilient, and they were really defending exceptionally well. I thought Moharic was exceptional. So was Kolasinac, Dedic. The whole backline were having a really stellar game, and you had the thinking whereby even though Canada were playing some really good, tidy stuff, as the game crept going, the game was stretching, and it was opening up, and Bosnia were also having their moments to score the second to double their lead and essentially kill off the game. And you got the belief, you got the thinking that, can Canada even score today? Can they even rescue a point? Which sounds crazy because they were the more dominant side. But deep into the second half, it was their star midfield man, Ismail Kone's marauding one from deep, who passed to super sub Promise David, and his very sharp, delicate touch meant that Kyle Larin was through on goal, and his emphatic finish ensured that Canada take away at least 1 point, and the points were shared. Um, it was a really sharp finish by Larin, and instant impact from the bench just 2 minutes after he came on. He was the difference maker, and they needed Larin because Jonathan David up front was really struggling, and they were really not getting anywhere with him up front. So a huge impact by Larin, and a very solid point firstly for Bosnia. I think they will happily take it and settle for it. For Canada, it's a what if, it's a what could have been, because they definitely played well, more than well enough to get more than a point out of the game. However, they will happily and gleefully take their first ever World Cup point.